Hey y'all, welcome back. Well, I'm sure you figured it out by the email we sent out this morning, or maybe by the title of the video, but I bought 50% ownership stake in Create and Go on June 1st, essentially buying out Alex. And this was a decision that honestly feels crazy to me. It's something that I'm so unbelievably excited about, but also something that terrifies me. You see, when I found Create and Go, I remember times were honestly really tough for me. I was donating plasma right around the time I actually discovered them, and I was trying to make some extra money, and I was investing every dollar I could because I read somewhere that investing was the way to wealth. And I remember they had a bonus for emergency service workers there. So instead of getting like $50 per donation, I could get like $75 or something like that. So I would go, I'd switch arms every week, and I would make an extra $150. And that money used to allow me to invest and just try and get things that would help me earn more. I'd buy books and educate myself and things like that. And so I thought, if I'm donating plasma and I have to be here every week, I might as well be doubling up and using that time to try and make money online. And I remember one day I was donating and I came across Alex's YouTube video on how to make money blogging. I thought, this has got to be the way for me. Something about it really resonated with me. Maybe the same way it resonated with you guys. I wanted to experience what the world had to offer instead of being stuck in some grind that I just couldn't get out of. So I saved up my money from donating and I bought the course. And once I bought it, I loved it. I thought the online space was an incredible world, something that I never really knew about. The internet wasn't something I had a ton of experience with growing up. So I just remember having this like moment where I realized like there's people actually making money online using their computers. They didn't have to show up for jobs and do the normal 9 to 5. And I'm sure for a normal person, it probably wasn't that big of a surprise, but for me, it was a game changer. And I was surrounded by all these people that were doing it, and it inspired me. I thought, these people can't be much different than me, and if they can do it, then maybe I can too. And it was exciting to me. I remember once I discovered the world of bloggers and creators, I started learning as much about them as I could. I remember my first blog was a tragedy because I took like half of the first course and I got too excited and I tried to just do it all on my own. But the good news is I got back on track, and I just started to develop all these skills when I started my second blog and was doing things the right way. And I started to connect with people like Kellen from the Savvy Couple and Drew from Create and Go and Alex and Lauren, and they started to encourage me to keep at it. And eventually I started to realize that there were careers and opportunities in the space that I could make good money doing. Look, guys, my mustache is tickling me. Anyways, I started applying for any job that I could as a freelancer, jobs I wasn't even qualified for. And I was lucky because a lot of people, they took a chance on me. And, I was young and dumb at the time, so it was extremely hard to manage all the stress of new work, school, relationships, my mental health. And I wasn't really juggling it all too well, to be honest with you. But I gave it my best shot, and it did start to change my life. I figured even if my blog didn't succeed, there's a community of people and creators that need freelancers. YouTubers that need editors, and bloggers who need writers and graphic designers, and any number of roles to be filled. There was a whole economy out there of people working, and I didn't even know about it. So I worked on my own blog, but I was broke. So I started focusing instead on the opportunities that were right in front of me. I started helping people with their own businesses and just grinding. And I made a lot of money. And first I was really kind of felt like it was cheating. Like, how am I making this much money when I was struggling for all these years? working twice as hard. It didn't feel like I kind of deserved the opportunity. I wasn't like a lot of people who took it slow and built their blog up over months or years. I started freelancing my first month, and I started doubling and tripling and even quadrupling what I was making at my normal job in just 2, 3, 4 months. And it was something that I really couldn't wrap my head around. I honestly didn't even know what to do with it. But for once, I got to be generous with my time and my money, and it felt like I was in a really peaceful and happy place. My life was honestly wonderful. Granted, I still have a wonderful life now, although it's very different and I struggle with it at times. But I've put myself through some tougher things since then, but at the time, my life was something I could never imagine. It was everything to me. I had real time and financial freedom. My hours were maybe 30, 40 hours a week, and my skills were getting to the point that my income was going up without having to raise my hours. Like, my income was starting to go from a point of being decent to being like, I couldn't imagine making that much money. I got to spend so much time with my girlfriend, and I got to do things I never expected to do. I went to Disney World twice in like 12 months, something I never imagined I would be able to do. And that might not be big to other people, but my family was just trying to survive growing up. We were worried about food and bills, not Disney World. And so to be able to spend thousands of dollars on a trip and go on vacations with people I loved was a life I never imagined. There are people that I love and care about that were struggling, and, I could have easily been where they were. And here I was acting like a kid playing in Star Wars land. And I knew how lucky I was. I felt really blessed. I was a 20-year-old kid with more money than I ever thought I'd have. I was really in love, and my life was a fairy tale for the most part. But unfortunately, making money doesn't automatically mean that you know what to do with it. I still had bad habits and ideas in my head that I grew up with that made it difficult to make the most out of what I had. And I was struggling. I really wasn't sure what my purpose was anymore now that I had money. I think Kanye said in one of his songs, having money isn't everything, but not having it is. And all my life I had struggled with money. All the things that we had to miss out on, I had to see other people have what I didn't get to have. And I always thought if I could just make enough money in my life, then everything would be perfect. But it didn't take me long to realize that having money isn't everything. And I had a wonderful life in a lot of ways, even growing up like relatively poor. I remember my mom used to always have this saying when something would break. She'd say, oh, how blessed we are to have things that can break. And she was right. But it didn't mean that the financial struggles didn't get to me. I felt like when I could fix that, it would solve every problem that I had. And that just wasn't the case. It was incredible to be able to pay off $30,000 in debt and focus on my weight and lose 100 pounds and travel and spend time with people I loved. But money doesn't fix everything. I remember at the time my girlfriend at the time was really close to her grandparents. And I went and saw them all the time, and I loved helping them. Her papa was one of the best influences I ever had in my life. And he started to teach me how to be more of the man I wanted to be. I would go work in his garden for hours. And the work was always worth it because he'd teach me so much when we would talk. But like I said, there's some things that money just can't fix. And I remember when her Siti and papa got sick and they both passed away. I tried my best to be really strong, to hide how much that hurt me. I knew that her family lost something that was so precious to them, and it felt selfish to focus on my own sadness. But it did start to catch up to me, and eventually I lost my own grandfather, and depression really just started to get to me. Suddenly I was gaining weight again. I wasn't leaving the house. I was starting to lose my desire to live a good life. And there wasn't enough money in the world to make me okay. I lost the people that I cared about, and I pushed away the rest of them. I felt like people could see me failing, like I was letting people down. I started to compare myself to others, and I started to feel like I hadn't really accomplished anything, that I wasn't close to what I used to be. And I'm not telling you this to tell you that I have some awful or tragic life, but just to tell you that this business isn't just about making $1 million. This life isn't just about getting to work 15 or 20 hours a week, although that's incredible if you can accomplish those things. But this life saved me, because there were days I couldn't bring myself to work. There were days I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't show my face to the people I cared about because I thought I let them down. I thought they'd see me with the opportunity that I had, and they'd think I was ungrateful. They would think I was taking it for granted. And so I isolated myself from them, and I sucked for a long time. I did the bare minimum at work, and I did exactly what I needed to survive, and I told myself that was enough. But I was hurting, and I was really lost. But in that time, I had the opportunity to work on myself and make a lot of mistakes and grow a lot. And without the life that I built and the money I made, I wouldn't have been able to do that. I had work that would continue to go on without me, passive income, courses that could sell themselves, clients that I could do just 10, 15, 20 hours a week worth of work, and I could pay for everything. But the reality is, it sustained me in the worst times. I remember in the beginning when I found Create and Go, I thought this life and this dream was for people who wanted to make $1 million a year. And there's nothing wrong with wanting that. Hell, there's still things that I want. There's nothing wrong with wanting better for your life. And money is a good tool to do that. But this lifestyle is also for people that are going through hard things, that hate their jobs, that don't need a lot to be happy. They're just struggling. And, like, what if you can get skilled enough and find a work model that works well enough for you to live the life that you want? You can make a business that feels fulfilling and have purpose. One that isn't just about money, but the money just comes naturally because you love it so much. What would you do and figure out in your own life with that opportunity? I know for me, building that freelancing business that I have and blogging and just all the endeavors that I've done have allowed me to become a person that wants to keep going and keep trying to figure it out. It's not about comparison or looking at the peaks of my best days, but just being grateful for what I've accomplished and how far I've come. I've learned the value of things and what truly matters, because when you lose all those things, it puts into perspective. And so I'm not perfect. I'm not someone who's made $1 million a month, but I'm someone who's made more money than I could have ever imagined. I fought back from my lowest days and sustained myself through the worst of times. I've gotten to work with Fortune 500 companies and people that I would have never dreamed of. And although I struggle, I know I'm so lucky to have found Create and Go and that it led me to have the life that I've had. So when the conversation came up that Alex was possibly moving on from Create and Go, I kind of knew I had to buy it. I thought on it for a long time because my fear was that I'm not Alex. And I know a lot of people are here because they want to be like Lauren and Alex, but we've lived really different lives and we have very different experiences and different values. And frankly, I didn't know if I believed in myself and what I accomplished enough to believe that I could help people that are going through things that I may have never gone through, or trying to accomplish things that are maybe greater than what I've done. Who am I to tell thousands and thousands of people how to make money? I know I was able to do it and accomplish these things, but I was worried that I wasn't qualified to take over this. But I had a talk with some friends that I really respect in my life, and they helped me, decide to take this opportunity. They said, maybe it's the best thing that you're different, that, they respected me and what I had accomplished. And it shocked me these people I looked up to so much admired me. And I just started to realize that maybe what I accomplished, even if it didn't solve all my problems, was an incredible feat, and that people could benefit from having the same experience themselves. That maybe just showing you guys and teaching you how to accomplish the things that I've accomplished and just being as transparent and honest as I can along the way will save you from some of the mistakes that I've made. I think J. Cole may have said it in an interview once, and I may be wrong, but I believe he said that his goal for raising his children was to teach them the same lessons he had learned, but to teach them to them in half the time. And I don't think there's anything I could want more from my work. When I first bought the Pro Blogger bundle, I bought it because I wanted to be like Alex. I wanted to have the same life that him and Lauren had. And I'm sure a lot of you bought the courses and signed up for our list and watched the videos for the same thing because you think you want their life or mine. But I don't want you to be like me. I want you to be like you, and I just want you to learn from me. I made so many mistakes trying to compare myself to other people and measuring myself to what they had accomplished. But just like I couldn't learn to be them, I can't teach you to be me. But hopefully I can help you make some more money, save more, stop living paycheck to paycheck, and create a lifestyle you love, something that can sustain you. Hopefully I can make someone have a lifestyle that feels good enough, that they want to continue going on in their own life and do good things for themselves and for people around them. You don't have to be $1 million YouTuber and make $100,000 a month with a blog to have a good life. There's so many people that are making, $5,000, $10,000 that you haven't heard about that have an incredible life, a lifestyle that fits them. And I would love to see more freelancers and more creators doing the same. I just want more people to get the opportunity that I have had, and I want to help you get there. So I'm excited to take this new role and hopefully provide some value to people the same way Alex did for me all those years ago with this exact YouTube channel. And, you can follow along as I, try and accomplish my dreams of, becoming a better storyteller and making more impactful work. And, renovating my childhood home that I bought with my brother and, just accomplishing my dreams. So it's an absolute honor now to be an owner of this company that changed my life so many years ago. And I can't wait to make it my own and see what we accomplish together. If you stuck around this long, I appreciate you and allowing me the opportunity to reintroduce myself to you guys and to make the most out of this opportunity. So I'm really excited to see what we learn, and I'm really excited to see a lot of you accomplish the things that you want to accomplish and build a life that sustains you through the worst of times and hopefully brings you on to the best of times. This opportunity and this experience is surreal to me because I struggle a lot with, feeling like I deserve it and am proud of the things that I've accomplished. But I know that if I ever want to make a difference in other people's lives and help them to break the cycles that I broke out of and am still fighting to break out of in my own life, that I have to put myself out there. So hopefully I'll get better at these, and I'm looking forward to practicing and just sharing with you guys and learning as teaching you everything that I've learned and learning more so that I can teach you more. So I appreciate you guys, and you're going to be seeing a lot more of me and hearing from me and Lauren a lot. We have a lot of things planned for you guys, a lot of things that I can't wait to put into effect and share with y'all. So for now, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for being a fan of Create and Go and for allowing me to have this opportunity, because people like you that watch the channel and, are on the email list and interact with the courses and all of those things, you brought Create and Go to the main stage so that I could find them, so that I could do all that I've done. So hopefully it'll come full circle and I can do the same for you guys. So I'll see you next week.